and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I'm here today to do a reading for all of you Pisces out there, you Pisceans. This is a general read for Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. If you don't know where your Moon, your Venus and your Rising placements are, then there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out, because not everybody does know their astrological placements, but it is well worth knowing, because then you could also see what's happening on a larger scale of what's taking place in the world out there, as well as connected to what's happening in your own chart too. So for any of you Pisces cross watchers who are here today, welcome. Just to be aware that this reading may be your story rather than their story. For any of you that are interested in a relationship with a Pisces, you are in a relationship with a Pisces, or you have just finished being in a relationship with a Pisces and you're still wanting to know what's going on. You may also want to check out your own signs as well to see if your story is there, if this doesn't resonate with you. And if you know their Moon, Venus or Rising, you can also go and check out them as well. But it is worth finding out these placements, as I said. So for everybody who has subscribed to my channel, I'd just like to say thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And please, if you like this video, could you thumbs it up for me and get it out into the wider YouTube world as well. It's the reason why all of us YouTubers say this all the time, is because YouTube itself has this kind of idea that the more a video is thumbed up, the more it kind of gets taken up by the algorithms and kind of put out there. So that's one of the reasons we're always saying, please thumbs up our videos. Also, to anybody who has not been to my channel before but you're here now, welcome and thank you very much for coming over to check it out. I do all the zodiac sign readings for tarot. I also do the new moon and the full moon readings as well, and any other kind of major astrological transits that are happening when a planet moves into another sign. I will do a reading about that as well. So there's quite a few up on my channel already if you'd like to go and check them out. And if you do like my reading, please could you subscribe to my channel and tap that bell so that you will be able to receive the videos that I will be putting out in the future. This is the last of the cycle of readings I have done. I started with Aries, so my next reading is going to be Taurus, because we are moving into Taurus season very soon. So, and before then I also will be putting out a new moon Taurus video as well. So I'm going to start your reading today, Pisces, with the Major Arcana card. I'm choosing one card from this deck to give an overall picture, an overall flavour of what's happening in your reading. And what's coming through most strongly for me today with the Magician card here is the normal kind of story. If you've watched my videos before, they're talking of the manifestation energy here. This is the manifestation energy of the Magician. This is what this card is all about, manifesting something new into your life. He represents the energy of Mercury itself, and Pisces, you have just had Mercury in your sign for the last 4 months, I believe, backwards and forwards. It took a long time. So Mercury, not Mercury, Mercury has just left Pisces and it's now moved into the sign of Aries, fire sign rather than the water sign of yourselves. But I feel that while Mercury was in your sign, there's been a lot of kind of under the, how can you put it, undercurrent things happening, under the surface currents taking place for you, like things that are kind of ideas in a way. The manifestation process here, if you like, is all about the creative fire the intellect, the mind here, the cup of emotions, and the pentacle here is about bringing all of this into the physical realm. So that's what it represents for me. It's like you need all of these together in order for it to manifest here. And the pentacles can also, of course, represent the money that you have to, or the finances, or the physical realm itself, that you have to kind of create it, because you're creating it in the physical. But in order for that to happen, you have to bring all those elements together. The mind, the emotions, and the creativity, the fire, the passion. But the bigger message that I received from this card today, which came through, strangely enough, before the card even came out, was that it doesn't matter if nobody else believes in you, as long as you believe in it yourself, or not necessarily believes in you, but believes in your idea, your vision, your passion, your creative manifestation, whatever it is that you, Pisces, are wanting to bring into this physical realm at this moment in time. The message for me that was given today is it's about you believing in it. It doesn't matter what anybody else believes. If you can believe in it strongly enough and bring all of your willpower and focus of attention into it, you can manifest it. That was the message I was given. And like I said, this was while I was shuffling the cards. This kind of like thought came into my head about the Magician card, and that was what was given to me, and then the Magician card popped out. So I thought that was very kind of definite, shall we say. It's like, Pisces, this is what you're being told today. So this is your overall energy, your manifestation. Whatever it is that you are trying to manifest at this time, believe in it enough yourself. And you also have the Queen of Wands at the very heart of your reading, who is the visionary energy here. She is the visionary queen. She is the queen who can manifest, attract things to her. She sees the vision and she holds the vision in place before it actually becomes a reality. It's a Leo type energy, hence the lioness at her feet here, which for me often represents protection as well. So maybe it's also saying that you need to protect this idea at the moment. Don't go giving it to other people or talking about it too much or putting it out into the physical environment, because that's when it can be kind of knocked back and ridiculed and kind of made to feel as though you don't know what you're talking about and it's an impossibility. And that's when we kind of start questioning these things ourselves and going, oh, you know, well, maybe I was a bit stupid to think like that. Maybe it's not possible. But all the great visionaries have been knocked back. But I do get the feeling that there's something about this lioness down here today who is an incredibly protective animal. So I feel that that's what this is saying. Hold that dream, keep it close to your heart. Also that it may be something that you've had in place for a long time. It's something that you have maybe wanted to manifest for a long time, but you haven't believed in it enough or believed in yourself enough in order for you to bring it out into the real world, shall we say. But here we have the real world. This is your challenge. This is your kind of blockage, if you like. This is what's stopping you from moving forward with it. And the Tower card today for me, it's saying, strangely enough, that you do actually need to knock this down. But this is what's stopping it. It's like your old beliefs and your old ideas, and this structure here represents old ideas and old beliefs, the things that kind of keep us trapped. If you see here, it's kind of all of these bricks that are falling down, are all kind of ideas that we've kind of put around ourselves as we grow up, the stories that have been told to us of how things are. And so for me today, this tower is saying you need to kind of take that vision and think outside of this box. You need to break down that structure, that box, that kind of limiting belief system, and kind of free your mind with it as well, Pisces. This is Poseidon, also known as Neptune, and you do actually have Neptune in your sign at this moment in time. The planet Neptune is there, and it has been there since 2012, I believe. It's been there a heck of a long time, and it's not going to move out until I think it's about 2025 off the top of my head. That number seems to be what I'm remembering. So this could also be kind of a slow process, something that's been happening over many kind of years for you, and maybe it happens suddenly and then it kind of stops for a while, and then it kind of happens, it kind of lets you recover, kind of lets you go, okay, so this is where I'm standing now. This is what I've kind of released in a way. But it is a bit of a shock to the system. The Tower is always a bit of a shock to the system, because it always seems to come from an outside process as well, when actually it is a very internal thing, because it's almost like we ourselves get to the point where we can no longer live within that confine. So we have to break free from it, we break through it, we break beyond it. So I always see the Tower as being something that comes from outside, but we call it to ourselves in order for it to take place, which could also have something to do with this manifestation energy as well here, that you're manifesting this new beginning. But in order for that to happen, or this new vision, this new idea, Pisces, in order for that to happen, you've got to break down the old first. And I get a feeling that it has been something that's been an ongoing process, something that has been happening kind of in stages for you. And in your head, what you're aware of, they gave me these 3 cards for you. The Sun, which is a fantastic card, clarity, seeing things clearly all of a sudden. The kind of it's almost like something that was very unclear becomes very clear, becomes very obvious, becomes very you know, it's like the clouds move apart and the sun's there, and all of a sudden you can see what you weren't kind of able to focus on before. It is a victorious card in many ways as well, the Sun. It brings in this kind of sense of joy and happiness and optimism, and again, like a strong belief as well that you can actually achieve something here. This is Apollo in Greek mythology. He was the god of not only the sun, but also the arts as well, the classic arts like music and poetry and literature. And then you have the King of Cups here. This is also a very Leo energy as well, the Sun. Leos are ruled by the Sun, so there's also a passion here as well. I see this kind of driving passion. You've got the King of Cups, which is the emotional element. Kind of sitting there. And I feel that you're very open at the moment, Pisces, that you've kind of become very open to your own emotions in many ways. That you've kind of realised that there's a need there for them. The King of Cups in this card is the wounded healer. So he's somebody who takes care of everybody else. He's very good at other people's problems, other people's issues, not so great at his own. So he kind of tends to want to avoid things as well. He kind of tends to want to keep the emotions I wouldn't say hidden as such, but they're not, he doesn't divulge, shall we say, everything that he feels. And there's this little crab down here as well, which for me is all about kind of moving sideways at something. It's not very straightforward, it's not very direct, it's almost like you have to kind of work things out with the King of Cups. There can be some puzzling energy here. But these are all very beautiful cards. You've got the Star of Hope as well here, which is saying that after a time of a lot of kind of worry and stress and having to go through a lot of BS, a lot of kind of difficult times, and not knowing where you stand maybe, which could also relate to this card here as well. I'm going to kind of connection with this card here. It's like the sun coming out, and then this kind of, it kind of hits you again, and you're back to this energy of kind of like, you know, hoping that things are going to improve again. Because the Tower is not a card that kind of, how can you put it, not a card to be kind of trifled with, shall we say. It is like when, you know, when the Tower comes in, it's like all your security in some ways, all the crutches, the things that you kind of rely on, even people that you thought would be there for you, it can all be swept away in an instant with the Tower. So Pisces, you may have been feeling this process happening over and over again, and it may have put you in this very kind of emotional state with it as well. It is your energy, it is the energy of Pisces, Scorpios and Cancerians as well. There's a similarity here as well, because they've both got this harp here as well, which for me is very soothing. So you may kind of find there's something about music at this time as well. Music may be playing quite a large part in your life. Helping to soothe your troubled soul as well, maybe. But this card here for me is saying don't give up. Don't give up. Keep that belief and that hope alive in your heart. Which again is this card here for me as well. This kind of keep that idea burning. Keep it alive. Keep it there. Keep it. No matter how small the flame may get at times, it's like saying, you know, don't extinguish it. Don't give up on the belief that it can be how you want it to be, Pisces. And also Pisces cross watchers as well. This may, like I was saying, this may also be your story here too. So that's the 3 cards that are in your head at this time. And we move into the energy that's moving away. We have the 9 of Swords here, which for me is always about angst, anguish, worry, fear. And I see a similarity with this card here as well today. This kind of, these insects representing the kind of having to work your way through a lot of stuff, and this Nine of Swords here being the same kind of energy of feeling that, you know, one thing, you get over one thing and then it kind of pops up again. And again, I'm getting the feeling with this Tower, you kind of find some sense of stability, which this card here is talking about. This King here is talking about a sense of stability and a sense of kind of your value and your self-worth and your achievements. The King of Pentacles is very much about the physical realm, bringing things into the physical realm, but also a sense of like belonging, security, strength within that, which when this happens, it kind of blows everything away and brings you back, I feel, to this kind of energy here, this kind of more having been kind of swept along, shall we say, this feeling of kind of being, having to go with the flow for wherever that has led you. And maybe that's been an ongoing story in your life, Pisces, since 2012. You may feel as though you haven't kind of been able to find that grounding and that sense of security, maybe. And so what else came out with these two cards was the Knight of Swords as well. So there is a sense here as well of kind of things happening very quickly. And again with this Tower energy as well, that everything happens very quickly. It's kind of like you get this stable energy for a short while and then it goes again. Again, you're having to kind of think on your feet and you're having to kind of reevaluate things, and it's the card of the energy of air, so it's very much this energy here, but it kind of sends you into this turmoil. It's kind of whirlwind energy of you not being able to put your feet down on solid ground. Again, from this Tower, I just keep getting kind of pulled back to this Tower as it being really important for you at the moment, Pisces, to recognize that this is not hindering you, this is helping you, even though it may feel at times as though it's really not. Over these past, however many, what we're talking, since 2012, about 8 years or so, and this is probably going to be an ongoing scenario in your life for a while longer, because Neptune isn't going to be leaving Pisces anytime soon. But what it does do is it gives you this kind of this sense of how can I put it, this kind of, what I'm feeling here is this sense of not just change, although it is change, but it's more a sense of kind of this archway here of you kind of almost like a healing, almost like a healing energy here as well. Like it feels like it kind of clears up your confusion somehow, which is this star energy here as well. It's kind of, it kind of clears up the confusion for a while, and then the confusion kind of starts again. But while you're in this energy, you're very connected to your kind of more kind of poetic, that side of yourself becomes even stronger, shall we say, within that chaos somehow. Or you use that chaos to become a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for, artistic? Artistic is the word that's coming through to me. Maybe that's also what this King of Cups is about as well, the artery. I don't even know if that's a word. Artistic. There's something about that as well. But after, like I was saying, after all of this chaos and this whirlwind energy, you are kind of left looking back over what's happened. And I don't feel that this is just about relationships either. I feel that this is kind of an overall arching thing within your life as well. Maybe that's what this is about, this kind of overall arching energy, something that you kind of have been experiencing for quite some time, and you kind of each time you end up sitting here and trying to kind of, it's a melancholy and a nostalgia here about how things change in your life and how you're kind of leaving things behind as well. You may have found, you know, you've kind of on some level thought what going to always be there for you, but they're not. It's almost like, you know, it's like a constant transition stage somehow. And underneath all of that, Pisces, we have this card here of Judgment, this fellow Hermes, who is also this energy here as well. He is this energy in lower form, shall we say. This is his higher, kind of more godlike Mercury energy, and this is his more kind of human, mundane, magician, kind of in the physical realm energy. And Hermes is the messenger of the gods as well. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. Even today in astrology, he's known as the messenger. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. He's the one who kind of gives all the messages to the other planets, zips around and kind of, which is why he goes retrograde more than any other planet, and also why he spends more time in planets than any other, in signs more than any other planet as well, because he gathers that energy and then he passes it on energetically. But in this card, there's also the Judgment card is also about forgiveness as well. And this is what's at the kind of root of your reading here. This is your subconscious level. And interestingly enough, this is also this god here as well. This is also Apollo in his kind of more lower form in a way as well. But they've both come out in reverse. So there is a sense here for me that you are feeling, as I was saying, that with this Tower card here, it's almost like this is what happens. It's like you have to kind of get swept, everything gets swept out of your life. And it's almost like you don't have a choice. It's like at this moment in time, you feel as though you don't kind of have, because this card is about choice. This is about kind of being told by this god here, Apollo, who also represents the very kind of masculine patriarchal system as well. And I don't want to upset anybody by saying that, but it is what this card represents, is the patriarchal masculine energy. And way back when these cards, the stories that these cards told, the gods basically were felt as though they ruled over our lives. So in this card, he is being told by Apollo that he has to do something that he doesn't necessarily want to do, because he knows that by doing it, it's going to lead to this sense of madness, this sense of kind of having no choice. Because these characters here are the Furies, and the Furies are the kind of mental, how can you put it, the kind of constant, the same story playing out over and over and over in our heads that kind of drive you mad, and you can't see any way out of it. You can't see the light for the darkness. And usually, as I was saying yesterday in the reading that I did for Aquarius, because that also came out yesterday, this card, and I often, when people are in this energy and when they feel stuck in this energy, I would say to people, light a candle. Light a candle to help yourself out of this darkness. But this is what's moving away. But I feel that with this energy here and this energy here both being in reverse, you almost feel, Pisces, as though you've had no kind of control over your life. Because this is about calling up the dead and kind of removing them out of your... But I get the feeling this is more about kind of, you know, when you get swept along and these kind of situations of people and places and things that you were kind of attached to, or yeah, kind of relationships and things like that. There's just this kind of feeling of this fast moving energy that doesn't allow you to it doesn't allow you to hold on to these things for too long, or that it hasn't done over these last kind of 8 years. It just feels to me as though there's been a lot of moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. But like I say, it's in process, it's in stages. It's not like it's all happening at once, although it may feel like that at the time that it happens, but it's like it happens and then you have this kind of stable time, and then it kind of comes in again, and it's kind of back to that same chaos and kind of just feeling as though everything is kind of being swept away from you, and you are just kind of having to go with that. But there is, today I'm just getting this card coming through as being something that's, even though it doesn't seem like it, it's a beneficial energy. Where it wants to take you is ultimately going to be beneficial. It's ultimately going to be towards whatever it is that you're trying to manifest here, Pisces. And the energy that's moving in for you, Pisces, is this card here, the Page of Wands, which I feel is quite similar to this energy here with this Queen. And for me, it's about you kind of moving away from, again, you know, I get the feeling that this is what happens, and it's going to happen again. This sense of kind of leaving one situation and moving into another situation here. Pages are always a young energy. It's a young idea. This is your vision in many ways. That's why I feel that this is kind of connected to this. But it's almost like you have to, in some ways, release all this past stuff, which I think is what this is about as well. It's about kind of releasing things from your past in order to be able to bring that vision in. And there is this sense of like this young flame here, if you like, of like I was saying, you know, it doesn't matter how small that flame kind of becomes, don't extinguish it. Don't allow anything else to extinguish it either. Don't allow other people's views to extinguish it, or other people's kind of failure to believe that it's possible for you, Pisces. Okay, so I thought that something else might have come through there, but it didn't. So I'm going to move on. I will just say that there is this sun here in the background, which is kind of saying like there is a new day dawning, which is kind of what I feel that happens after all the chaos and stuff. It's like this new day dawns and you kind of find your stability again. And you kind of make sense of it as well on some level. It all kind of comes together for you again, and then it all kind of starts all over again. This kind of whirlwind energy. And with the Knight of Swords, which represents the air energies of Libra, Aquarius, and brain's gone dead, Gemini. And this is kind of the twins here. This kind of represents the twin energy, the dual energy here. Of kind of being in two minds as well. Which could also be part of the chaos as well. Of you kind of wanting to hold on to things, but at the same time knowing that it's not possible. So that could also be causing a lot of kind of again with this card, the past, looking over the past, which I feel also kind of reflects this energy here as well, because this is about releasing the past, letting go of the things that no longer work for you. These mummies here are representations to me of the things that we kind of keep buried, that we have to at some point acknowledge and let them go. And I feel, Pisces, on some level it is just happening. It's like you don't really feel as though there's a choice to be made here. It just seems to be part of the life that you're living at this moment in time. But the sun kind of rises and kind of clears away the darkness, like the night and the dark, and you see things again from a clearer perspective. And once again, you've got this kind of hope that things are moving forward for you. But then I kind of feel as though you're back at square one again somehow. But you're not. It's like you have moved further down the road, so to speak. You're no longer, whether that's actually you moving physically and actually leaving things behind like that. But on another level, it can also be like on a spiritual level or on a mental clarity level. Emotional level, also creativity as well. Creatively, you may also kind of be pushed into being more, I wouldn't say aware as such, but being more open possibly to your own creative path. Because the Page of Wands does also talk about a kind of new path opening up ahead as well. That's the message that I always thought I was waiting for. That's the one, this new path opening up ahead of you. Right, okay, so Pisces, let's see why the Queen of Wands and the Tower are here in your reading today. Have a card please for the Queen of Wands and the Tower for Pisces Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. Where is the Queen of Wands here? Messenger of Fire again, or the Messenger of Fire. So more fire, I feel. There's a very strong sense of creativity here for you to check in with your creative ideas, your vision, you've got the Page, you've got the You've got all of these. The only one you haven't got at the moment is the King, but there's still time. So the Page, the Knight, and the Queen. So a lot of kind of creative energy, a lot of drive, a lot of kind of really wanting to bring something into the physical world, I feel. But because this page here is kind of young and needs to be nurtured and turned into this energy here, again, I feel as though it is about not allowing other people to tell you that you're being stupid or that it can't happen. That it's your dream, and you have to kind of protect it. Again, I feel this kind of protecting energy here. Almost like this is kind of a guard for your ideas in some way. So that's what I'm feeling today. Is don't allow that. Again, it's this kind of same message of don't allow somebody else or other people to give you their negative views on what they believe can and can't happen. And if they do, then kind of don't buy into it, Pisces, as it being a definite. And I just feel quite strongly that it is about, because again, she's kind of, if you look at her, she's got her arms are kind of crossed over in front of her. So there's this feeling of kind of guarding herself here for me. This kind of energy of like, and the look on her face as well for me today is almost kind of saying, you know, this is something that I don't want to share at the moment with you. But I think like with her arms in particular, there is this guarding energy. There's this need to kind of protect something that is just beginning to come into being. And with the Page of Wands, it's often young, new pathway. And the orange here as well is a very creative colour. There is a very creative, and this Queen as well, she works with the orange energy here, which relates to the sacral chakra, which is in between the solar plexus and the root energy. So it is about the physical creativity here. The solar chakra, or sacral chakra is the creative driving energy. So you might want to look up something about that as well, Pisces. Check that out. I do get this feeling of needing to protect that dream of yours, that vision, that whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest and bring into the real world. Okay, and also not to focus too much on the real world as being the only way for it to actually manifest as well. I don't know if that makes any sense, but kind of realise that it kind of takes place outside of the physical world before it manifests in the real world. And to believe, strongly believe, for you to believe in it is the real message. That was the message that I got with the Magician card earlier. that it doesn't matter what anybody else. And in order to protect that, don't speak about it too much. Don't put it out in the open. Kind of nurture it within yourself first, Pisces. That's the kind of message that I'm being given here. So, the Sun, the Star and the King of Cups. Why are they here? Why have we got the Sun, the Star and the King of Cups all together up the top here? What is the overall energy here for the Sun, the Star and the King of Cups together? The Sun and the Star, of course, are both very major Arcana cards, very kind of powerful energies that you're working with and working through at this moment in time, Pisces. It's what's in your head, it's what's obvious to you at the moment. This feeling of, at this time it's just a hope, it's just a wish, it's just something, it's kind of pinning your hope on the star. But again, I feel that that's kind of the bigger vision, if you like, the kind of bringing that bigger vision into the physical realm and not focusing so much on the physical, not focusing so much on all this stuff here as being the problem that's stopping you from getting what you are wanting as well. Kind of take your eye off of the physical realm at this moment, Pisces, and go more into your dream energy that you are, your artistic, creative, to shine a light on that area of your life at this time. Because also, what's in your head at this moment, with the Nine of Earth here, is a feeling that you're not. The Nine of Earth is about confidence and self-confidence in particular, and self-worth. And being up this way, it's kind of saying to me that you're not feeling particularly confident in what you're doing at this moment. Also, I feel as though you are kind of focusing too much on the physicalness of all of it. Rather than focusing on the other elements here. The creative drive, the emotions, and this kind of sword, the mental realm as well. This is kind of, I feel as though this is stressing you in a way. With this card here, this kind of mental angst and stress about it all. And maybe because you're feeling as though it's taking so long, you're feeling even, you know, that you could be questioning your self-worth as to whether you feel as though you even deserve it. There could be elements of that here as well, Pisces. Why should it happen? Why, you know, do I deserve it? Am I good enough for it? Which is also possibly about this energy here, releasing your previous beliefs maybe as well about your self-worth. This is possibly also why this card is saying break through those limited ideas, your limitations that you've put on yourself. You need to break free from them, Pisces. So I'm just going to grab this card, it fell down, sorry about that. So I think, or I feel, that that's what this is saying here, that you need to kind of to question maybe even where those self-worth doubts are coming from, why you don't feel that you can, or why you're not worthy. Because this card in reverse is kind of saying the opposite of it does, obviously, when it's up the right way, which is all about your self-confidence and your self-worth. And here as well, with a kind of this clouded energy as well, it's kind of looking to me quite kind of yeah, just this feeling of I'm going to put these other cards down so I can focus on this one alone. It's all very hazy. There's this kind of haziness about this card. This kind of hazy, and I feel that this is, again, you know, it's kind of, you've got very focused on this little flower here, which for me is kind of representing that the physical realm in some way. You're very focused on the physical, and you are kind of ignoring all the rest of the requirements, if you like, for manifesting this into your life. But also, this could also be representing, sorry, your past not challenges so much, but things that you've tried in the past but they haven't worked out for you. So you're now kind of in that headspace, you're now in that kind of doubting yourself energy, that it's not possible. And yet I feel on some level you haven't totally given up hope. It's almost like here you're kind of praying as well, which is this card here, is kind of keeping that fire alive somehow. You are still wishful that it can happen. But it's all looking, for me, it's kind of, there's this sense of it all being a little bit too almost like you see it and then it kind of blurs out, almost like it kind of becomes this blur and you can't really bring it forward somehow, bring it into the light. Being in Pentacle is the earth realm as well, so still I'm getting that kind of same feeling of it being very kind of, you're trying really hard to manifest it in the physical realm, but you're not taking everything else into account. So it's almost like it's nearly there, because it is a 9. It's almost like it is nearly there, but it's still kind of in and out, if that makes any sense. And the energy again here, put these cards together. Let's come out with the 9 and the King, then we had the 9, sorry, the Knight and the 6 of Cups. We also have this 8 here as well, and the 8 is about you kind of being in a place of, if you see here, it's almost like she's trapped herself on this cloud. It's almost like you've kind of you've got yourself caught up, and again it kind of feels like the chaos and the whirlwind and the kind of sense of I don't know if it's a sense of desperation, but there's almost this kind of feeling that in order for this to stop, shall we say, in order for all of this chaos and this madness and this kind of feeling of being like out on a limb or on your own, or that you kind of have to, again I'm getting this sense of shredding or shedding this energy, this kind of these feathers here that are being thrown down, representing these past memories. But in doing so, there's this fear of being trapped somehow, that you're going to get caught in some past yeah, maybe past way of doing things. And maybe this is also what the tower is about here, because as I was saying, this is about moving out of that limited belief, and this kind of represents that limited belief in a way, because it is about being trapped. The Eight of Air is about this trapped, and she has, in some ways, this isn't traditional, because traditionally you would see her surrounded by swords, and they're kind of trapping her and keeping her in place like a prison cell type of thing. But in this card it's more like she's kind of trapped herself on the top of this cloud up here, and this all kind of represents again the mind, the kind of logical processes which have kind of led her to being up here. And the more she kind of tries to free herself, the more trapped she kind of feels that she's becoming. So maybe there's elements of that, and I'm only saying she because it is a female here. It doesn't make any difference. This doesn't just relate to the female gender. He or she, both energies. But there is this feeling of of not being able to free yourself from this. Maybe it's from this constant, like I was saying, this turmoil, this kind of sense of, in your life it just keeps repeating. Something's repeating over and over again. And I feel again that it's this story, this tower story here, that kind of keeps sweeping things away in your life. And you kind of feel as though you're trapped in that energy. So we'll see what else comes out here. With the Five of Swords and the Judgment card. I might also put another card over this card actually and find out a little bit more as to why is the Eight of Air here. Six of Air. So it's all about mental clarity. It's all about this feeling of Six of Air is often about moving away from something. Six of Swords, moving away from something into more calmer waters. But again here it's in reverse, so it's feeling as though you're stuck. It is a feeling of being in this energy and you can't escape it. You can't escape the kind of, and I just feel somehow it's just like this story, like I was saying, it's this story of kind of this madness, this stability that comes in, and then this kind of, once again, it kind of, something happens and you're kind of sent whirling off somewhere, and then you kind of look back on it and kind of question it all, and I feel as though there's this, yeah, there's this sense of being trapped within that story itself, and that it's not getting you anywhere. That's how you're feeling, that's how you're viewing it, that's your kind of mental thought processes, shall we say. That's how it's playing out within your head, is that you're not getting anywhere with it. It's just this ongoing replay scenario that doesn't seem to be able to shift out of it. And with the Three of Earth down here as well, I get the feeling of you having kind of grown into if you look here, she's kind of rooted, she's become rooted, so it's almost like you've grown into accepting that this is how things are, this is my life, this is kind of what I have to do, or even that you don't have that choice again. But if you see here, she's got her hands up, she's kind of looking out to the future, she's kind of wanting something different, but feels as though she's still stuck in the same story. But this is what's moving in with the Page of Wands here. I feel as though this is about a new path, this is about a new direction. It's just that at the moment you are kind of, again, because this is the subconscious energy, this is kind of the root energy of what's going on under the surface. And the subconscious kind of plays out in the conscious realm as well. So you feeling kind of stuck in this scenario, stuck in this ongoing kind of, I see her like a statue almost, like she feels as though she has no, again, no control over this. She's just kind of become how can I put it? A bit like a mannequin in a way. A bit like a mannequin. Like she's just there as this almost like, you know, the Greeks with their belief that the gods had control over their lives. It's a similar kind of energy that I'm picking up here, that, you know, she's just a mannequin in all this. And that that's what you can pick, you know, Pisces, that you're being picked up and kind of put somewhere else in a way, and that you, like I was saying earlier, you feel as though you don't have control over it. Almost like a chess piece in some ways. Like being picked up on the board and kind of shifted around. And you're kind of looking out into the future and thinking, is this ever going to change? Where is my new path? Where is this? You know, I've been trying to manifest this for so long now. And it may feel like that for you, Pisces, because of Neptune being in your sign as well. You may feel, because Neptune is all about a new dream, a new story, a new... It's the kind of spiritual element behind everything that happens as well in many ways. And also at the same time, there can be this element with Neptune of having to kind of let things go and surrender to it. So you may also feel that very strongly at this time as well, Pisces. I was saying, kind of like, you know, being a bit of a mannequin or a chess piece for the gods to kind of come just move you around. And just feeling that, you know, you have been trying for so long now to change your story or make sense of it and manifest something new into your life. It does just look a bit like a to me it does just look like a chess piece, that card. But the card that you've got coming out again is the Sun. So you've got the Sun twice. So it's saying to me, Pisces, that you are going to be blessed. Because here she looks like she's moving. There's something, again, similar with this energy here. And it's almost like, you know, you are going to be moving forward. You are going to shift. That energy is going to change. And you are going to have that sense of clarity and that sense of victory as well here. Like I feel very much kind of you're crowned in something. It's almost like at the end of the day, it's almost like you see where it was taking you. You understand fully what it was all about, why you had to go through everything that you had to go through to get to this point here, to get to this success, and it is success as well, Pisces. I feel it really strongly, this kind of real, like this sunshine, like I say, you know, again, like the clouds are kind of parting and you can see your journey so very clearly, and it just makes so much sense to you. And I just get a real sense of like joy and happiness and really just really content, really content. And just radiant as well, just like you're radiant, you're radiating this kind of real achieving, a sense of achievement, a sense of, you know, of really, and now as well you have, it's almost like because you're radiating that and because you've been through so much, you're kind of attracting that energy back to you as well. You know, kind of the more you're sending it out there, the more it's coming back into you, and you're understanding that was what all of this was about, all of this manifestation and everything that you've had to go through here, all of this story here, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, the difficulties, the hanging on to hope, all of it is leading you to this. It may not be immediate, Pisces, this may be still kind of a few years down the line, but what it is saying is this is your destination, this is where you are heading. Believe in it, believe in it, believe in you. It doesn't matter if anybody else believes it, as long as you believe it, Pisces. And that's just come through really strongly for me, to the point where I've just got goosebumps. So it's going to be a really good and also I'll just say with this card as well, enjoy the journey. It's not just about the destination, it is about the journey, but this is where your journey is taking you. So believe in it and it will get you to where you want to go. So I'm just quickly going to ask the moon cards, the moon wisdom. Wisdom of the moon, as I like to call it. Moonology oracle cards. We've just literally thrown a card on the floor. Let's see what you've got. You've got a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. I'm going to pull another one because that came out very quickly. Stop doing that. I know you cards want to jump, but it doesn't help me. A new romantic cycle, maybe it has got something to do with a new romantic cycle, but I feel very strongly that this is about you and your story, Pisces, rather than anybody else. I'm sorry if that's going to upset any of you cross watchers out there, but this is very much the story of Pisces. And you've also got, it's time to release negativity, which I feel is very much this card here, kind of letting go, as I was saying earlier, these representations of your past situations in your life. Time to let them go in order to allow something new and allow yourself to move on to this new path, which is there and you are aware of it, but you just don't know at the moment how you're going to get there. But you have to kind of prepare yourself, I would say, for the ongoing story. It just feels to me like this ongoing scenario. So the Namaste blessing card that I pulled for you earlier today is this gorgeous pink cherry blossom card. Again, you've got the sun here as well, which I think is very relevant. That's 3 times the sun has come out in your reading. And so it says, a blessed new beginning, a series of serendipitous events guides you to a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. Release all that no longer serves you. The past is behind you. Bless it and let it go. Life is an eternal new beginning, moving through time. There we go. There's your clarity. There's you moving through time, moving to something else. Beautiful, Pisces. Difficult, I understand that. Difficult at this moment in time. I'll just quickly let you see that card as well so that you know that I'm not making it up as I go along. Beautiful card. New beginning. A blessed new beginning. And the Deva crystal card that I pulled for you, just checking that time, it's getting on, is interestingly enough self-worth. It's rhodochrosite and it's to do with the chakra of the heart and its colour is pink. So you may want to get yourself a piece of this, Pisces. Heart chakra energy, working with your heart. It says you have been given life because you have special gifts to contribute to the world. Your real worth is not dependent upon how much you earn, what you wear, or how you look. Your value lies in your unique individuality. It does not matter whether others see your talents, which is a bit like saying it doesn't matter what other people say about what you believe in. It's down to you. You may not even recognize them yourself. Your talents were given to you by the Creator. Your gifts are so special that you have been created as an individual entity to accommodate them. They differentiate you from all other beings. You may think that you serve no purpose here, which I think is also kind of this card here as well. This is not true. Without you, the universe is incomplete and could not function in proper order. You may not know your purpose, but you have one. Continue to look inside your heart and you will discover why you are here. Your worth also has nothing to do with others' opinions of you. Realising this is the first step to self-love. When you let go of the judgments others have forced upon you, we have this card here, you will begin to recognise your worthiness. As long as you agree with and perpetuate any judgments that find you lacking, you cannot love yourself. Self-love cannot exist with self-deprecation. Many of you have been told cruel things about yourself, that you were stupid, ugly or worthless. Those words were spoken by those who have lost touch with their souls. They were perpetuating the hurt that they had felt in their own life. Consequently, they could not allow themselves to see your beautiful and special light. When humans are in pain, they strike out. The critical thing to remember is that their anger probably has nothing to do with you. Others' reactions towards you have to do with them, not you. Unfortunately, you just happened to be... Sorry, I've just lost that bit there. Where are we? Unfortunately, you just happened to be nearby when a wounded person attacked, and maybe that's also why you're feeling this need to protect as well at this moment in time. With this Queen here as well. This protection that I was talking about earlier. As you begin to love yourself, free of judgment, healing will occur. You will mend the injuries you have suffered from the thoughtlessness of others. As you welcome yourself home, you will feel the connectedness to all other beings and love them free of judgment as well. A new strength will empower you to move forward with kindness to others and to yourself. You cannot truly love others until you love yourself. This is the responsibility and challenge we place before you, to recognise the perfect being that dwells within. Why have you drawn the Rhodochrosite card today? Our pink essence blends with the heart chakra to help you realise how lovable and worthwhile you are. Perhaps this is a time when you are unable to see your beautiful soul and recognise your value. Maybe you have gotten yourself into a romantic relationship or job situation where you are being taken for granted or treated abusively. Once you truly appreciate the beautiful creature that you are, you will be reluctant to enter into or remain in any circumstances that are unhealthy or destructive. Learn to say no. Do not let others hurt you. Do not hurt yourself. You deserve the most respectful treatment. Maybe that's also what this card is about as well. This Tower here, it's breaking through and breaking out of limiting situations for yourself. Take care of yourself. You take care of others. Your children, your parents, your spouse. But what about you? You often put yourself last. What message does this send about how you value yourself? We encourage you to put yourself first. That may sound selfish to you. Are we suggesting that you neglect someone else to take care of yourself? Of course not. However, if you do not honour yourself and your needs, how will you have the emotional or physical energy to help others? Again, I think that comes back to this card as well, your self-worth. And you're kind of not putting yourself forward as being important enough. I think that was something that I was saying earlier about, you know, how much do you believe that you deserve enough in order to actually get what it is that you're wanting? Okay, so I'm going to skip some of this and just go straight onto this bit where it says there are no criteria for your self-worth. You are worthy regardless. Treat yourself with the love and acceptance you deserve. Fill your heart with forgiveness towards yourself and those who have hurt you. Let go of blame, resentment and bitterness. And that's, again, what I was saying about these mummies here, kind of representing situations in the past that need to be forgiven in order to free and release yourself as well from their attachment to you as much as you are attached to them as well. We offer ourselves to assist in the healing of your wounded self. You were meant to be whole, loving and joyful, and you will be, and you are. Bless you. There you go. You will be joyful. Happiness. That's what I feel with this card here, Pisces. So, as I was saying, you may want to get yourself a piece of rhodochrosite. Carry it with you. I don't know whether you can, I think you can get it in jewellery, because I think I've looked this up before, because this card has come out before. Can't remember who it was for. It's for a while back. But you can get this kind of rings and necklaces and things that you could wear, or just get a piece of rhodochrosite itself and carry it around with you for a while. That may also be of benefit to you, Pisces. So I'm going to end the video here because it has got longer than I was expecting it to, but I just kind of go with the flow of what's happening. I will say thank you very much for listening to my video. If you've managed to watch it right the way through to the end, thank you. Could you please subscribe, and could you please thumbs it up, and could you please tap the bell so you can get future videos. And also, in these very difficult times that we're in at this moment, please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and hopefully I will see you back again soon. Take care, Pisces.